look at you.
Yeah, I get it.
You know a little bit.
Turned to alcohol, try to drown everything out.
Yeah. I thought you wanted to do it.
Yeah, he did. 2 friends.
Talk about that and see what happens.
Your girl got fucked by 75 guys before you married her. Shut the fuck up.
If you show up to this fight, October 14th, I will rematch you in MMA.
What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Combat Geek, where we talk about your favorite fights and fighters. This time, we're looking at our most explosive fight of the year. I've seen a lot of people, including some supposed fighters and world champions, look at this spectacle of boxing and claim that it was a farce, a mockery of boxing. 2 monkeys wailing on each other in an embarrassing display. Well, they're wrong. What we all witnessed was one of the most impressive displays of boxing that has ever graced the face of this earth.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
Dillon Danis came from nothing. The streets of New Jersey toughened him up.
Setting up shop in New Jersey, 21 gang members were taken into custody today.
A serial killer was convicted in Essex County, New Jersey. He murdered at least 3 women.
This is what we do, like, every day, 24/7. It's not just for the thrills, but also the money, man.
He wasn't the strongest kid, or the smartest, or the most athletically gifted, or the one with the most heart, or really any notable features at all.
Pussy! Pussy! Piece of shit! Pussy!
No way. There's no way you have the fitness to chase a car. There's no way you have the legs, the pace to catch up to the car.
So I think Dillon probably was the one they really wanted, and Dillon's kind of a pussy too.
Me off about all this shit is that they don't appreciate the entertainment.
So he began training jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is where he found his calling, his pride, and at just 21 years of age, he earned his black belt. With that prestige came new opportunities, specifically a phone call from the notorious one, Conor McGregor. Conor knew he needed an elite-level grappler like Double D in order to avenge his loss against Nate Diaz, so he got him on board and the two began training. Conor's grappling instantly saw a massive improvement. Here he is demonstrating his masterwork jiu-jitsu skills that he developed after El Jefe gave him some pointers. After his vengeance against Diaz, where he demonstrated little to no grappling at all in that entire match, Dillon Danis became a mainstay in his training camp.
You know, like I have his back, as I said, and he has my back, so whenever he needs me, I'm there, and if I need him, he's there for me, so I'm here to help him for his fight. After
all, if Danis' grappling is so high level and strong that his jiu-jitsu trainer Marcelo Garcia tells Danis to get away from his school for fear of being overshadowed as a master, and Conor McGregor does not use it for more than 10 seconds for fear of instantly killing a weaker opponent in Nate Diaz, then Dillon Danis is a force to be reckoned with. Conor McGregor's grappling now being undefeatable by normal human beings, he of course was feeling ready to take on Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib may have been an ubermensch of wrestling, having trained all of his life by running in the mountains and wrestling bears like he's Zangief from Street Fighter, but he has never, ever been inside the guard of someone who has been trained by the jiu-jitsu master Dillon Danis. That's why he must have cheated in order to get this result. As we can see from this clip, Conor is demonstrating a high-level jiu-jitsu technique. However, that cheating Rusky paid the referee in order to make it look like he tapped.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
Dillon rightfully called out the cheating and called out Khabib like the true American he is, causing the Soviet to descend upon him and fight it out. The two were quickly separated in order to spare the life of the UFC's new champion. Since then, Danis has waited out the storm, occasionally giving lessons to bouncers about proper jiu-jitsu technique. On the other side of the important part of the world, America, another masterful fighter has been building up his own legend, Logan Paul.
We found a dead body.
Yo! What the f- Okay, this needs to stop. Now.
The legendary Logan Paul got his start in the fight world by making videos where he pretends to suffer from color blindness and putting out some of the worst music videos ever made.
Don't do drugs. If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
Naturally, this led him to boxing. His first boxing match was an explosive duel against fellow undefeated striker KSI, where they each demonstrated their unparalleled skill by fighting to a standstill. Of course, both of these go-getters couldn't stand having a draw and fought again. Unfortunately for Logan, the British are still very upset about the Boston Tea Party and decided to tip the scales in KSI's favor. While a loss on the record books, anyone watching the fight could clearly see who is the real victor.
There goes that jab from Logan, then that big uppercut that I was looking for all night.
Knowing in his heart that he is still the strongest, Logan decided to switch up the competition. Picking at random, Logan Paul targeted a little-known American boxer as his next victim. A clear mismatch, one fighter was a master at boxing who had never known a major defeat.
Got him!
And the other was Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather had a somewhat impressive record of 50 wins with no losses and was quite protective of his record. So Logan Paul graciously allowed the fight to be an exhibition, which meant that no record of the victor would be kept. Clips like this one, however, shows just how much of a mismatch Mayweather was for Logan Paul.
You do not play boxing. And there, Paul now. Not a lot of technique behind these punches, and Floyd Mayweather.
By this point, both Danis and Paul must have been aware of each other. The two monsters of combat gearing up for an eventual clash. Titan though he was in striking, in order to defeat Dillon Danis, he needed to learn some grappling. What better place to learn how to wrestle than in the WWE?
I'd be impressed with Logan Paul's performance.
After just a few matches in the WWE, Logan demonstrated incredibly skillful technique that he could surely use in his fated fight against Danis. These moves are practical, understated. If you're not an expert wrestler or a longtime fan of the sport like I am, you might miss out on some of the subtleties of moves like this. After seeing masterful grappling moves that rival his own, Dillon Danis knew it was time to settle who was really the strongest. Any fighter worth his salt knows that 95% of all fighting is completely mental. It doesn't matter if you know how to actually throw a punch. All you have to do is make the opponent afraid of you, and the mental damage will stack up so much that they will forfeit on their own. Of course, Jiu-Jitsu paragon Dillon Danis knows this. That's why instead of learning how to box, he instead went to Twitter. No one could ever guess, except for the keen-eyed fight experts, that Danis is just as good at grappling the psyche as he is at grappling the body. With a master strike at the golden reputation of Logan Paul, Danis went after where he was most vulnerable, his wife.
She's gorgeous though. You don't think? I think she's pretty.
She looks like a man.
Like, it's all bullshit stories trying to make me look like a bad guy that hacked their stuff. Never hacked anybody's stuff. Those pictures are all easily found online, you know? Like, I could prove that everything was online.
That's right. Despite Dillon Danis being known for being a valiant, honorable warrior, he decided to strike out against Logan's wife, calling her all sorts of names, but mostly reminding everyone that Logan Paul is married to this.
All I want is like a big, fat sausage just destroying my body.
Eggs and bacon, a lot of bacon and sausage. And then we would go to a basketball game, and then he would cook me dinner again, like a good steak with a good sauce and some potatoes, maybe some green beans. And then after that, you know what happens.
Cracked a in a football stadium full of people once.
What an outrageous blow. Surely this brought Logan to his knees. Logan, himself a master of psychic techniques, knew how to proceed.
Why am I...
Mr. Mumble Jumble stumbled his way through a sentence.
Yeah.
Need a EpiPen in his face because he's in a perpetual state of allergic reaction.
You know what I bring.
When the day finally came, 1.3 million people bought the pay-per-view and thousands of people came to the venue to watch the fight live. The match was hotly anticipated and spectators knew we were about to see a spectacle. something became very clear. Dillon Danis was not throwing punches. Viewers were outraged. How could he not fight against an opponent such as Logan Paul? Did he want to survive his Mortal Kombat? Fools that they were, the spectators were not able to perceive what the masters of combat were. Dillon was fighting. However, Logan Paul's immense presence hampered his own offense. Danis knew he could not strike without careful deliberation, as any punch could mean his own demise. Dillon Danis knew in a boxing match, a boxer could let 1 or 2 or 20 punches hit you directly in the face before retaliating. It was a genius level technique. Pathetic punches like these are merely window dressing for a knockout blow. Meanwhile, Logan knew exactly how to proceed. His experience in boxing taught him how to fight against a defensive master like Dillon Danis. Punch him in the face over and over again. A very little known technique. This duel between titans of combat continued until the 6th round, where it was becoming clear that Logan had a slight upper hand. Both men were exhausted. Logan from punching Danis in the face, and Danis from thinking about punching Logan back. In his exhaustion, a momentary lapse in judgment fell upon Danis. His mind broken from 6 intense rounds of thinking, he briefly forgot the rules of boxing and returned to where he felt most comfortable: Jiu-Jitsu.
Jones Jr. right now. Oh, he deeped him. He deeped him.
Unfortunately, Jiu-Jitsu is against the rules of boxing. Dillon Danis had lost both the mental battle and the physical one. The fight was over. Logan had won. However, both fighters still wanted to go at it. The lowly security guards stopped the fight before we could see what an unrestrained battle between 2 of the greatest of all time really looks like. For now, we'll just have to wait for part 2. This fight sucked!